You're listening to Burnt, and this is episode number 18.
Hey, I'm Lauren.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and some days we're burnt out.
And some days we're burning it down. This is Burnt, a podcast where you're not going to find us reading off of a script.
These are real, unfiltered, raw conversations between two moms, two women, and all of our friends.
We got a lot of friends, and we are all fired up and ready to make some change.
We're ready to burn it down, and we want you to join us on this journey where we aren't just burning it down, but we're figuring out how to fix it and rebuild it.
Because you got to scorch a little earth, controlled burn, before something beautiful can grow.
Join us every week here for Burnt, wherever you enjoy listening to podcasts. Hey, friend.
Hi.
Long time no see.
I know. It's been a minute. The last time I saw you was in real life.
For the first time. And we took a whopping one photo.
How did that? We need to do better next time.
I had more photos with Cory Booker.
The bar is on the floor to not
yeah.
more photos of politicians.
Yeah, it's sad.
I wasn't expecting you to be shorter than me.
Thanks. I'm shrinking, as my kids say.
I think because we made our graphic so that we look like we're the same height. So in my head, that's what's actually, well, that's the reality, is that we're the same height.
We're not too far off.
No. Wait, how tall are you?
My license says 5'4". I'm a little under.
Liar.
5'3" 3/4.
No, because I'm 5'3.5".
No.
Okay, we're going to measure.
We'll measure each other next time.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah. See, I'm not that short. Man.
I know. I feel like there are a lot of short people in this space that like you don't expect people to be the height that they are. And it's cute. Like we all fit in an Uber really nicely. It'll just kind of like cozy in.
Want to be a political influencer? Be short.
Just be short. One of my content creator friends, one of his followers met him in person and said, I wasn't expecting you to look like this. I thought you'd be stockier.
I guess that's a compliment.
Like the things we say to people.
I don't think we do.
No.
The things that people say.
Yeah. People are ridiculous. So how are you doing? It's been a really crazy month.
It has. And yeah, we're already in March, which February just boom, gone.
I still haven't said thank you to all of my happy birthday text messages because my birthday is February 1st. And that day I was scrambling to get ready to leave on February 2nd for a mutual aid trip to Minneapolis. And so I wasn't doing what I would normally do on my birthday, which is be easy and relaxed and respond to things. I was driving and running around and picking up packages. So I still have, it'd be awkward for me to reply now. Thank you a month later.
To all who messaged Lauren, happy birthday, this is your standard thank you.
I think I'm going to write something and maybe I'll copy and paste it and I'll be like, sorry. Thanks for your patience.
Oh boy. You've been busy. You have been all over the place.
I have. I've been to Minneapolis twice. I've been to DC twice. I haven't been anywhere else. And I've been to Detroit once. But that was just for a few hours in between Minneapolis and Detroit when I stopped for dinner.
Just stop for dinner in Detroit. No big deal.
Passing through. Because flights got canceled and weird because there was a blizzard coming through to DC, but then it didn't hit DC as expected. It went up and hit New York harder. But my flight was still affected. So I needed to be there for the State of the Union. So I drove a minivan from Minneapolis But you know who is absolutely lovely to stop on a road trip? Our friend Chris and Dave.
Chris and Dave.
I was like, I'm passing through. Can I stop by for a hug? And I got a hug. I got dinner and ice cream. It was a hug for your soul. And then
She's a good hugger. They're both good huggers. I gave them both a hug in DC.
They're so great. They're
adorable.
When you meet wonderful people, I think we're finding our people and finding it's, for me, I think I assume that because we're all doing similar work and we're all politically aligned, even though there's nuance and there are factions, I had this false sense of we're all just one big happy family and we're all going to be friends and we're all going to get along. And I think it's just like any other industry or social environment. There are going to be people you click with and people who you don't spend as much time with. And it's just kind of like finding your people and figuring out where you feel safe and warm and fuzzy. And it's been a really cool adventure to figure out who those people are. And I'm really grateful.
It's been an adventure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yes. Yeah. It in some aspects, it feels like high school.
Yeah.
Like it's cliquey.
Yeah.
There's a lot of infighting. Are you cool enough to be on my team? No. Yeah. There's a lot of ick to it. Like,
I've been thinking a lot about Glennon Doyle made a really great analogy on her speaking tour last summer, where she said that we're all in the same river. And I don't remember exactly how she described the river, but we're all working against authoritarianism in this river. And we might all be in different boats. So I might be in the boat that is focused on empathy and human rights and sexual assault survivor justice. That might be that's my boat. Mutual aid is my boat. But that boat is not for everybody. And there might be a Free Palestine boat over there, and that is their primary boat. And there might be another boat over here that has a completely different focus. But we're all moving toward the same goal of crushing authoritarianism. And what Glennon's analogy is the only rule: you pick a boat, you find your boat, you figure out what your boat is. Just don't yell at people in their boats, in a different boat. Just because somebody's not in the same boat as you doesn't mean that you should yell at them and tell them that they're not doing it correctly, because ultimately we're all in the same river and we're all going the same direction. And if you yell at each other in their different boats, then that distracts you from paddling forward and fighting what we need to be fighting. And so I've been thinking a lot about boats lately. Here in 40 degrees in the suburbs of Chicago, I'm thinking about boats.
I will be thinking now about boats because I've been just thinking about the infighting nonstop. And whether it's online or in person, Ken Martin, this is why we aren't winning, buddy. I told you. Yeah. There's just this point of people who I think I'm seeing the extreme left. We've seen the extreme right. I see now the extreme left, and we need to come kind of in the middle. Mm-hmm. And we have people from the right coming to the left, but there's still this extreme, like, no, this is what we say. This is what's going to happen. We have to get behind, this one candidate. We can't have two. We can't have three. Heaven forbid you're in California and we got 9. That's a whole shit show there. There's no one size fits all. And so we have to figure out how to get along and be okay with more. And I think the biggest problem is that people don't care about shit until it affects them directly. This is the biggest problem there is.
Yes. Exactly. And furthermore, if we're going to the boat analogy, if there are people, and I can't remember if Glennon said this or not, but if there are people who are standing on the shore, or maybe they have been part of the tide pushing against the efforts to crush authoritarianism, maybe there are people who are fighting for the authoritarians, and they get off and they stand on the shore and they're watching all of these boats, and then they decide, hey, I think I might want to jump in that boat. I like where this river's going. I like that better than what I was doing before. I'm going to try to find a boat to jump into. Or maybe I'm going to build my own boat and I'm going to get in the river and I'm going to help. We have to be okay. Like that, that's the goal, right? That is that we can't meet those people. And I know I've said it here a million times. We can't meet them with shame. And we can have, I know that there is anger, and I know that people, need to be accountable for harm that they have caused. Absolutely. Yes, I am team accountability all the way. And you don't have to be friends, but you can't shame people for wanting to join the fight and recognizing that they have caused harm and that they have done some things that are inexcusable. We have to have space. We have to create space. Without that space, we're just going to stay in the same echo chamber, and we're just going to keep fighting each other, pointing fingers and wondering why nobody wants to come hang out with us on our boats. Because if we're assholes, I'm probably not going to want to hang out. So be less of an asshole.
Attach a dinghy to your boat and let them get into the dinghy, okay? Before you let them get on board, if you're like, oh, I can't be on board the same boat with them, put them in the dinghy and attach the boat.
And they might be like Tom Hanks in Castaway, where he's like built his little raft and he's just floating along. Eventually he gets where he needs to go. But wouldn't it be so much easier if we support one another and we help? And that might not be something that you want to do. But there are people who are in it who are ready to help and educate and welcome people who are coming from the other side. Let them do that. And do not shame people for that work, because that work is important too. So I think it's just so interesting to see the social dynamics in the way that it's playing out. And it scares me, frankly, because you can see how people can allow this kind of thing to fester and metastasize. If we're just a bunch of pretentious assholes fighting with each other, I don't want to go to that party. No, thank you. Yeah. I'd rather stay at a party where I am celebrated and things are fine and nobody is, we need to make a party that people want to be a part of. And I mean that metaphorically and also political party.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's so much I want to say, and I'm like, I don't even know where to start. Like we can talk about our politicians, and there's certain ones that are on book tour right now, and people are like, you can't be on a book tour. You're supposed to be a politician. Yes and no. Like a politician is supposed to not be making their full-time career, right? Money, salary on this political career. So yeah, they kind of need something on the side. That's supposed to be what a political career is about. But at the same time, why are we not speaking out against things that are going on in real time? Why are we putting votes off until after the weekend? Come on. I really need everybody to do their jobs, okay?
We can walk and chew gum.
Please walk and chew gum. Yeah, it's what I tell my kids. You can talk to me while getting dressed. Like we can do two things at once. It's possible. I need y'all to do two things at once.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing one thing at once right now. Just like freaking one thing.
Mhm.
And it's just infuriating. And it's, you know what, it's sad too, because we went from an amazing day in DC where I was like so fired up, so excited to come home. I'm like, this is amazing. On one of my flights home, I had all three congressional reps from Nevada on it, all three of them.
Mm.
The majority of people didn't know who the hell was on our flight. And I was like, but I'm not even from Nevada.
That's funny.
And I'm like, hello, can everybody like, hi, hello. You don't know me. I'm not a constituent, but thank you. And I
Yeah.
started introducing myself and people are looking around like, what, who is this? It's your congressional rep, you guys, like pay
Yeah.
attention. And by the way, why are all three reps on one commercial flight? That seems dangerous to me too.
That's
But
an
that's another issue. But I was so excited to come home and be like, yes, I want to do more interviews. I want to do more content. I want to do more of this. And then it's crickets because nobody thinks they have time to do 30-minute interviews because heaven forbid we do what we say we want to do in allowing people to get to know us. So that's
Mhm.
another beef of mine that I've got in the background. On top of us now being at war with another country and then seeing people supporting this war.
Mm.
Okay. Like how many little girls just died in their school? And you're good. You're good? Okay. Just want to make sure that we're on the same page. You're good with that to get the one guy
Yeah.
and the two guy and the three guy and like there's just too
I
much right now.
There is too much. It's hard to focus. And then also, I keep wanting to come back to the Epstein files
Oh yeah.
and how that has been. I mean, because that was part of our day too. I mean, there was that press conference with the Epstein survivors, and then Pam Bondi had her hearing, and then we had our SCC event, and I really wanted to go to the hearing. There were too many things happening on one day that I wanted to do.
I didn't know about the press conference until the night before I was in my hotel room and I'm reading things and I'm like, wait, this is literally happening where I'm going. I'm
Yeah.
just going to leave my hotel early and show up and see what's going on. I did not know that I would be front and center
Oh yeah.
hugging survivors, like being a part of this day, a total like, oh shit moment. And for me, I think it was pivotal because we're all hearing about the Epstein files. We've been hearing about it for a long time. I've been connecting, with survivors online, but then to meet in person, to talk to this human being, one of them, there were many there, but I spoke to Jess and there was something inside of me that was like, you need to pay more attention to this because trafficking's happening in our backyards. It is here in San Jose. We know this. There are arrests. It's happening in our backyards. Sexual abuse and assault is happening in our backyards. It is happening to women everywhere.
Mhm.
Name a woman who hasn't had some sort of an assault. I don't know where she is.
Right.
That's the truth. And so it meant even more, like I could have spent all day just on that. I didn't need to do the rest of it. But it for me, it was something like, okay, I want to read more. I want these stories. I don't want to dive into what a creepy, fucked up asshole Epstein was. I want to hear about these women and these men whose lives have been affected, who are showing up today.
Yeah.
I want to talk to the reps who are like, no, we're not going to let this die. So you know who I actually ran into, literally ran up into him, was Representative Robert Garcia.
Mm.
I saw him and I screamed. I told the security guard, it's 1 second. I just need to say hello and thank you. And I told him that I was there at the press conference and he was like, oh, thank you. I'm like, no, I didn't do anything. I haven't done shit. Let me tell you that. I haven't done anything. But you keep bringing it up. You keep these stories alive. You're trying to hold people accountable. This is what we need.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Another reason why we need to know who these reps are, their faces, so that when we see them, we can run up to them and talk to them in a
Absolutely.
non-weird way. Like security didn't arrest me or anything. They're like, okay, ma'am. Okay.
That would be a different episode. I mean, it's fascinating to have these conversations. And I just this morning I was asked to attend a press conference. And I thought at first when I got the invitation, I thought that they were asking me to be there as press and to film it because and post about it because it's aligned with my advocacy for sexual assault survivors. And then I realized that they wanted me to be a part of the press conference. And so I thought I was going to be one of the people that stands in the back with the poster. And then I realized, oh no, I'm moderating this press conference. I am going to.
How did you realize? How did you go from I think I'm invited to videotape this to I realize I'm actually moderating the press conference? Where did that jump come, my friend?
It was the run of show when they emailed me the what was happening. This is the call time. This is, and then I saw. Oh. Are you sure? Do you? And then I emailed back and I said, I just want to be clear. I'm an independent advocate. I am not part of an advocacy group who is representing anybody. I just want to make sure that, like, I know a few of the survivors. I've interviewed some and I am in contact, but I'm not. I didn't want to misrepresent myself. And they were like, no, we know who you are. Yes. I'm like, okay, sure. So, but in that, I reached out to the survivors who I am in contact with, and I asked them, what I'll read it right now. I don't know who will listen, but I explained what I was doing. And then I said, I wanted to check in with you beforehand and see if there's anything you would want me to make sure that I convey that honors your journey. I am always wanting to center your voices, so definitely let me know if there's anything you'd like me to keep in mind or say. And then what they sent me back to say was, if anything is centered, I hope the focus stays on survivor safety, responsible transparency, and preventing further harm. I also hope the message remains clear that accountability applies to everyone. No one should be prematurely exonerated, and no one should be presumed guilty without evidence. Let the investigations follow the facts wherever they lead without political filtering. Accountability matters, but so does dignity. And then the other two survivors who were on that thread, they were like, say that. So, it feels like such a profound, what's the word? I'm honored to be able to be one of the voices in this advocacy space, but also I feel a lot of responsibility, a profound amount of responsibility to make sure that those who have been most directly affected it's not political fodder, we need politics to get this across the finish line, but they are not pawns. They are humans. And one of the hardest things for me is when I talk to other survivors, whether or not it's an abuse survivor, a sexual assault survivor, or a trafficking survivor, even though I was never trafficked myself, there is something that you can see in the eyes of another survivor when they're talking about their experience. And to compartmentalize that, because what I want to do is I want to put my microphones down and find a comfy, warm place for us to pull up some blankets and get cozy and have some tea and cry and hug each other and spill out all the things that we need to not hold stagnant in our bodies. But my role is to have a conversation and to try to share that information in the best way possible. And so I feel a real conflict there because I want to approach this in the most humanity forward way. And my way of approaching things like this, it's deeply personal. It's like, okay, get my blanket, let's get comfortable. And let's just talk and not record it and not worry about telling other people. But in this role that I've created for myself, or that's evolving, it needs to be communicated publicly. And so figuring out what that looks like, and then once I do that, and then you stop and you've like posted it and you've put it out there, I crash. I completely crash. And sometimes I crash in the middle of editing, and I just am emotionally exhausted immediately. And it's just hard.
My therapist used the term vicarious trauma
Ooh.
last week. And everything that we're doing, she said, even for herself as a therapist, with everything going on in the world and hearing all of the stories, that is why it is so heavy, because of this vicarious trauma and how we have to take it easy too. Because even though we might not have lived the exact same experience, we're taking it in. And as empathetic people who actually feel for others prior to any of this happening to us, we care, and it's heavy. And I'm reading Virginia Gouffre's book right now, and it is, I'm burning through it, but at a slower pace, because I have to put it down. I have to pause. And then to see, like, I had no idea that she was born in Elk Grove, which is near Sacramento. I know the area. We looked at houses there. She was sent to Salinas during one of the moments that her parents kicked her out. Salinas is literally 45 minutes away.
Wow.
I'm like, this is too close to home. Like when you know that, I then seeing, she lists the different addresses of where Epstein had homes, and his New York home, I've walked right by. Didn't know, but I'm like, oh yeah, that was on my way to this event. Oh, okay, then. Then it becomes closer. And I think if everybody actually took a moment to listen to any of these stories, to pay attention to some of the details, then maybe it would become closer for people to actually care more.
And that's exactly why I tell my story and I use my voice, is because the reason I started doing it was I wanted the people in my world. So I wanted family members, friends, former clients, parents of clients. I wanted them to, I'm really good at putting on the people pleaser, performance, perfectionist. I was a theater kid. I was a cheerleader. I was a dancer. So I know how to turn on those stage lights. And so I think a lot of people who know me know that side of me, and they don't know this other part of me. I think they know it now because of the way that I've been showing up online. But I tell my story because I want those people who know me to think, oh, wait a minute, maybe I need to think about this differently because I know somebody. Maybe I need to consider this legislation or that piece of the puzzle differently because of what happened to Lauren. Or, I think that's exactly why when we use our voices and when we tell our stories, that is how people start to think about things differently. And even if it's not somebody who knows me in real life, maybe there's somebody who might see me on the internet and see me doing one thing. And then when I say, hey, also this, that might move the needle a little bit. And if we can do that little bits at a time, then it could be a groundswell that changes everything. And I think in the case of the Epstein files, this is going to change everything when it comes all the way out because of the level of cover up and protection of powerful people and the volume of wealthy, powerful people. And we're not talking about one sole predator. It wasn't just Jeffrey Epstein. It wasn't just Ghislaine Maxwell. It is something far greater than any of us could even begin to fathom. And I think that years ago, when there was that whole Pizzagate situation, saying that there was a sex trafficking ring that was operating out of a pizza parlor and that the Clintons were involved, there's some truth to that. I don't think a pizza parlor has anything to do with it. I mean, could, maybe, I don't know. But, and obviously Bill Clinton is somehow involved. But it's like, if you give just a little bit of accuracy, a little bit of truth, and then you paint it all in this ridiculous story, then when the actual story comes out, there's plausible, well, maybe that's not true, because that's even more ridiculous. It's even more ridiculous that there's a whole island that there's this apparatus that includes people who we have looked up to and people who control huge percentages of the world's wealth and power. That's even more ridiculous than a pizza parlor. So if the pizza parlor wasn't true, then that probably isn't true either. So I think that they do these things to try to sow seeds of doubt, and it's effective.
I think you just said something that really hits the nail on the head too, is these people that we looked up upon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a huge issue,
Mm-hmm.
is that we celebritize. Is that a word? I just made it up.
I like it.
We celebritize rich people, actors, like, oh, you're on TV, you're a big deal. You know, oh, you have a lot of money. Oh, then you're amazing. You're untouchable. And I really believe in my heart of hearts that the most powerful, wealthy individuals on this planet are responsible for this, that they are all covering up. There is power, there is money. And I think that really a lot of the world would come falling, crashing down, once this is all out. I think that we will see countries with leaders who go down in flames,
Yes.
including our own, including Russia. I think that all of these are connected. And there's a puppeteer master, there are puppets, and there are a lot of them. And they preyed on those who have been harmed prior to even meeting them.
Mm-hmm.
And statistically speaking, now that I'm reading all of these books, if someone has been harmed as a child, they are statistically more likely to be harmed as adults.
Yes.
And that is exactly what we've seen.
And statistically speaking, if you have been raped once, you are more likely to be raped again. And it doesn't even need to be by the same person. And that's something that I've personally carried a lot of shame about. I was raped once in high school, and then I was raped by a second person under completely different circumstances. And it has taken me until very, very recently to even say that out loud. I mean, we're talking the last few months recently, not even within the last, when I started my advocacy, I didn't say it out loud. I would tell people in private, but I still carry, I mean, even saying that here, I hate the fact that I just said that. And I hate that people are going to be like, well, it's a her thing. So, but statistically, and when I hear other people say that was their experience as well, I feel less crazy. So I'm saying it out loud because maybe somebody's going to listen to this and they are going to also feel less crazy. But statistically speaking, yes, when you are vulnerable, you become more vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And also in the context of PTSD, I have diagnosed PTSD from what happened to me. It was a very long time ago. I was in high school in both of these circumstances. And everybody's going to experience trauma in some capacity in their life. Whether or not that trauma turns into PTSD is solely dependent upon the support system around that survivor in the immediate aftermath. And unfortunately, in my case, I didn't have the support system I needed because I was shrouded with so much shame. I didn't tell anybody. I lied about it. I harmed myself instead of telling a friend or getting help, and it escalated. So I started controlling what I ate. So, it's just, there are things that we do that we think at the time are self-protective when actually they're harmful. And because of that, because of that environment, now I have PTSD. And that is something I will deal with the rest of my life. And it's better. And strangely, I've noticed in the last crazy month between DC and Minneapolis and Epstein survivors and mutual aid and people who are recovering from ICE, people who are actively hiding from ICE, all of these things that are so intense emotionally, I haven't needed my PTSD medication. I take a beta blocker every day. I took it today. But when I'm doing that work, I don't need it. I took, in the entire month of February, I took one lorazepam, which is not normal for me. So it's interesting to see when you're doing work that fuels you, that helps others. That's healing too. That has a place of healing in your own experience. So, sorry, that was a lot, but
I love that.
that's been my journey so far.
I love it. And here we are. Again.
And here we are. I think we're figuring out how we can show up for each other. And in that process, we're figuring out how we can show up for ourselves. And it's a really beautiful thing because really, I think back to boats, the high tides rise all ships. I believe that truly, that if we're all doing well and we're all supported and safe, then the environment around us all will benefit. So it's not pie. Just because my neighbor is doing well doesn't mean that I'm not doing well. It's almost, even if you break it down as real estate, if my neighbor sells their house for a lot more money than I paid for this house, but then that means my house is going to go up in value, and that it doesn't, we benefit each other.
Right.
It's not pie.
It's not pie. So many people don't get that. It's not pie. And if it was, there's enough for all of us.
Yeah.
We'll make another one.
Human rights, not pie.
Yeah. There is plenty to go around, everybody.
Right. And we'll make more.
We'll totally make more. My oven works. It's good.
Yeah. Can I take a moment? I love that you've been doing so many of your videos in the kitchen lately.
Oh,
that's your background. I love it.
We'll talk offline about how that's coming to be.
I love it so much.
There's a whole story behind that, and I haven't even talked to you about that. So you have no idea how much you're gonna make me cry. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Is it intentional?
It is intentional now to put it in the kitchen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. There's been some. Where do I go? How do I fit in this? I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, cry.
Like, where is my lane, or what am I supposed to be doing? Is this worth it? What do I do? And then I made a couple just here and was told, well, it's kind of boring and blah. So then I added some captions and some other things and was told, oh, it takes away from the seriousness. And then one woman that I've never even met, she goes, I just want you back in the kitchen because I drink my coffee when I watch you. And I just feel like you're in the kitchen and that's who you are. So that is why I'm in the kitchen.
Thanks to that woman, whoever she is.
To Bree.
Cheers, Bree. Oh, I love that. I love it. But it is. I feel like your videos in the kitchen, I'm one of my favorite places to be is the kitchen. And to be at a friend's house drinking a cup of tea or coming over for a glass of wine and to be in a kitchen or have them in my kitchen. And that's what it feels like, your videos. I'm
Thank you.
having a glass of wine with you in your kitchen.
Yeah, maybe we'll move from coffee to wine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's usually after the kids have gone to bed. So then I'd really let loose. The lighting wouldn't be as good.
There are lights for that.
Yeah, yeah,
We can make that happen.
yeah.
No, I love it. I think because going back to the finding our lane and finding our boat, we find the places that feel most authentic to us. Like right now, I hate not having access to my pod swing because it's too cold. But that's
Yeah,
where
we haven't been in the pod swing in a long time, and I love that.
I know that's where I feel most myself is the pod swing or down at my creek in my bare feet in the backyard. I feel most myself in nature, and I'm stuck inside and I don't like it. I might need to move to a warmer climate one of these days. Yeah.
Come on. There's a house down the street. It's up for sale.
I do love California.
You can get a good deal. It needs some work. But I'm your neighbor. So. I'm your neighbor. So there you go.
That'd be trouble. I'd just be in your kitchen
amazing.
all the time.
Oh, you'd be welcome. I'd leave the door open for you.
Yeah, I was going to say you'd need to give me a key.
We have a gate that goes to our back neighbors. We actually installed one in the fence. So to have the front door open would not be weird. We just have you all for.
Tell me more about that, because my oldest friend in the world who I saw in DC when we were there, I stayed a few extra days so I could spend time with her. And also I mistimed when the monks were going to be coming through. I thought they were going to be there a little later than they were. And so
Yeah, they walked a little too fast.
they really did. I needed them to slow down. I needed an extra day. But I got them. I had to sprint and I saw like the backs of their heads from far away. But my oldest friend, we are still friends now in our 40s. But I remember both of our dads working together to make a gate to go between our backyards.
That is what we did. We have a fence that goes along the back. There's two neighbors along that back fence. And during COVID, some of the boards need to be redone. And at that point, the kids were too young you have to walk literally around the block to go to the other people's house. And the mom and I like each other, but we were like, they want to play for like 3 hours. And now we're stuck in each other's kitchens doing nothing but talking for 3 hours. This just doesn't work. So as we're redoing the gate or the fence boards, I found online that you just need, the contraption that makes it into a gate. And so I was like, here you guys go. Can you just do this? And so they did it. We have a lock on each side. So they have to ask permission still, but they just go back and forth between the gates.
I hope that they're friends for life.
I hope so. Yeah.
I really do. Because that's what happened for me. She's like my sister.
I love that.
And it's just the most magical thing.
Yeah. And they're the only ones. We have 4 neighbors in total. And we're like, we're not doing fun dates for everybody. No, just you guys.
We really hope the other neighbors don't listen to this episode.
If they do, step up your game. Otherwise, you're not getting a fence gate.
I don't have a fence here. It's just kind of a free for all because of how it's basically I'm looking at a forest preserve, but
yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, but I have one neighbor I'm confident does not listen. And the night that Joe Biden won in 2020, people ended up in my backyard, and it was COVID. So there was a lot of social distancing. Everybody brought their own food or they door dashed and set up their own little camp spot. And it was this social distanced cluster. And then we had a big screen and we projected the event.
Results.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even the results. It was when they gave the speeches.
Oh, right.
So it was like it happened in the middle of the day, and then everybody came over that night to watch. And we were stringing up cafe lights in the backyard between trees and all of a sudden pizza showed up, and I don't know how any of it actually happened. And it was so magical. But the next door neighbor, I didn't really actually realize how conservative they were. And so I invited them over. They were in the backyard. I was like, we're having people over. Do you want to come over? And no. And in that moment, in their response to me inviting them over, I realized, never mind.
Oh, well, you're not part of the party.
Nope. Can't come.
Every party has a pooper. This one's is yours.
That's how we create hey, come on over. If you change your mind in 2024 or in 2028, like, come on over. It's like that.
Yeah.
We're creating a party that is an actual party in a backyard with cafe lights, and we can all be in our own little clusters with our own little DoorDash, and we can exist in our own boats. But if you want to come on over, because we're fun, and you'll find your people. You might not find your people immediately, but you'll find your people.
I love that. As Emily thinks out loud, says we have to be cool. So this is our cool party invitation.
Hey, I am a recovering event planner. I can still throw a pretty good party.
You need to throw in and invite me, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Done. We should I was thinking in the backyard this summer, depending on what scale of war we are involved in, I think it would be really lovely to have a dinner in my backyard, even if it's quilts and we're all kind of picnicking. I think that would be lovely. It would be even better if I got rental tables that serpentined through the trees.
I just saw a reel on Facebook on taking a plank piece of wood, sanding it, and then drilling holes into it to make it like a long candelabra type thing, but just like a piece of wood. It was adorable. I'll send it to you. But it just reminded me of that. Like we could just make some of those.
We could do that.
Beautiful. That'd
be great. I would love that. I have a couple of people coming over this weekend for the Women's March. So I'm excited for that. I saw this, if you take lights and you project down, or you do it outside and you create shadows of floral arrangements, and then you have a big piece of paper and you trace it and then you color it.
I saw that. Was that Pink Post? No, it wasn't Pink Poster Club.
No, I shared it in my stories, so it might have been that.
That would be why.
Well, I saw that. I'm like, doing this immediately, save. Definitely doing this.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go plan our parties. Everybody, you can come in our boats. We welcome you.
I love